Alright, I seem to have forgotten to go over the code demo. I did the game demo, but not the code demo. Um, the game itself is built in JavaScript, as it says in the README. Um, Okay, so again, using JavaScript, I built a functional breakout game. So at the top, I have all my game parameters. These are mostly my constants for speeds or angles or size and whatnot. Then I have my colors, um, my text parameters, then my definitions for direction and power-up type. Then I have my game canvas set up, my sound effects, which are only 4, game variables, so these are the variables that I'm going to be using throughout the game, dimensions, event listeners, so key up, key down, and resize. So my game is resizable, although it starts looking kind of atrocious once you get too small. Then I set up the game loop, using request animation frame. Here's my game loop with time delta calculated, so it does tick. Then my update loops, update paddles, update ball or multi-ball, update bricks or multi-ball bricks, and update power-ups. So these are my power-ups falling. Then I had the draw, so I draw background, walls, power-ups, paddles, bricks, text, and ball. And then I recall the loop. Then I have my functions in more or less alphabetical order. I think some of them are off simply because they were written while I was creating the draw. But they're more or less in alphabetical order. So create bricks, apply ball speed. So ball speed just applies the ball speed according to its cosine angle or sine angle. And it does do inverse ball speed for the y-axis. Creating bricks, so I set my brick parameters and my gap. Then I calculate the total space needed. And then my array of bricks, my matrix of bricks, I should say. Then I draw my background, which is just a plain black background. Looks sharper this way, I think. Draw my paddles, draw my power-ups, function for drawing text. These are my score, lives, levels, high score, then the values for each of those, then the game over values, or start values with press spacebar or start, left and right arrows for movements. Then my function to draw my ball, and this is either the ball or the multi-ball. Function for drawing bricks, again we went through how the bricks are set up at the top. Drawing walls, these are just my extents of my game board, minus the bottom wall, since that's the out of bounds. Then brick colors, again we're set to the traditional brick colors of red, orange. I used lime and dark orange to get a good contrast between those, and yellow. Set brick score, so each of those colors has an appropriate score. 1 for yellow, 3 for lime, 5 for dark orange, and 7 for red. Set my function for my key down events. So key 32 is the space bar. Key 37 is the left arrow. Key 39 is the right arrow. So part of my event listener is the key up event. This will tell me when to stop my paddle. So if I'm moving and I key up on either 37 or 39, my paddle will stop. Again, my function for moving paddle, so this just adds velocity to my paddle, so along the x-axis, because there's only one axis for the paddle. Function for creating a new ball. This will reset all of the power-ups, should there be any. Resets the multi-ball if there is one. Resets the paddle and ball to the center of the screen. A new game resets game over, sets level 0, game lives, resets them to 3, score at 0, and then win is false. I do have local storage for the high score, so again, on your own machine, you can play for high score. And then starting a new level just creates the pups array, the power-ups array, new ball, and bricks. Then my function for out of bounds, notice again all of these functions are in more or less alphabetical order. So it tests whether or not the balls are out of bounds. This is the one that I need to update. So I'm just leaving myself a note to clear the bug with the multi-ball. So again, it just tests to see if the ball has fallen beyond the boundary. If it has, if I am playing multi-ball, I set it to false. I'm sorry, if the ball that's being tested is ball 2, it sets multi-ball to false, ball 2 becomes null, else lives minus minus. I think that's where I need to update my code. It should be an else if there, else if multi-ball or power up multi, and ball 2 and ball 1. Then anyway, that's for me to sort out in a bit. This is my serve, so if the ball is stationary on the paddle, I press the space bar to serve. And it applies a random angle using that serve in order to make the game not repetitive. Then set dimensions creates the window dimensions. My typos are atrocious today. It does allow window resizing. Then I created a function called spin ball, which adds that spin when it hits the paddle. So again, we get an off angle, so we're not looking at the exact same angles throughout the whole game. Then update ball just updates the ball location and redraws it to that location. It tests for collision, whether with the paddle or with the walls, and out of bounds. And update bricks, so if a ball hits a brick, it will disappear. And there's a small chance that power up will drop. And sounds do play when these events happen. So again, moving to the next level, if the number of bricks, so we did set a variable for the number of bricks, if that equals 0, and the level is less than the max level, which I think is just 2 for now, it increments the level, resets a new level, and then plays. Now, so if the game over is true, it just resets the whole game. Update paddle will move the locations of the paddles. It will collect power-ups if it touches them. It sets the values for power-ups using a switch case here. So we have extension, which widens it, extra life, sticky, and multi. Again, if the power-ups are already active, it just adds to the score. Power bonus, I think, is 50 points per. Yeah. Then let's see. this is the update the power-ups, so this allows the power-ups to drop from the screen when they're activated on the screen itself, or when they're activated when the ball touches a brick. And then my constructor functions at the bottom, or I'm sorry, update the score, update speed. Again, these are just the updates to those values at the top or at the ball. Then my constructors for the ball, the brick, the paddle, and the power-up. All right, so that pretty much does it. Again, if there are any questions, please ask them in the forum. And thank you guys.